Many times we want to talk about something that is a tough topic to get into, but we're afraid to because we know it's going to get into an argument. It's going to get an escalated argument. So, what do? Right? Knowing that I'm going to get into a conversation, a topic that's kind of tough to bring up. And when I get into it, I know it's going to end bad. I know it's not going to be good, and it's gonna draw us apart. We're gonna get into an argument, fight, say things we might regret. We've said things we regret, those kinds of things. So what do? Right? Today I want to share with you some things on how you could begin to prepare for those tough topics. Because it's not if you have a tough topic, it's when you have a tough topic. It's when you have a tough topic with your wife that you need to prepare for, because those times will happen. So what do? Well, the first thing we need, I call it having proactive conversations. By having proactive conversations, what you do is you're priming and preparing for those times and opportunities. It's having to communicate with her what you need when it's time for you to have those conversations. So for example, here's two pieces of conversation that this proactive conversation needs to have in when those times of bringing tough topics and sharing those vulnerable moments with your wife, right? So the first thing you need to talk about with her is, I'm afraid of tough topics with you because, right? I'm afraid of sharing these things with you because, right? Fill in the blank, fill in the topic, fill in the words. I'm afraid of tough topics with you because what are you afraid of, right? Are you saying, I'm afraid of sharing this with you because I feel that I'm not good enough? I feel at times that I might be rejected. I feel at times that I'm not measuring up. I'm failing as a husband. I'm failing as a man. I'm not meeting your expectations. I'm not a good communicator. So I'm afraid of bringing these things up to you because I don't know how to articulate it and put into words. I don't know how to say the right stuff. So I'm afraid of bringing up these tough topics with you. I'm afraid of sharing these emotions with you. So one of those proactive conversations is having to use this prompt. I'm afraid of tough topics and sharing with you because, right? I'm afraid of sharing tough topics with you because the second piece of conversation that you need to have with your wife that helps be proactive, so that it'll help you to share those tough topics and share those vulnerable moments that you've been kind of stuffing down all these years, is saying, so when I want to have those tough topics, what I need from you to help me share a tough topic is, right? What I need from you to help me share a tough topic is, right? I need your assurance that you will love me. I need that reassurance that you won't leave me. I need to have this reassurance that you understand that I'm dealing with these fears. I need you to have patience with me while I'm trying to figure out and put into words these tough topics. I just need you to sit and allow me to formulate what I'm feeling, because I don't have all the right words all the time. And so having the conversation of what I need from you to help me share this tough topic is, right? And then having to share what are those things. Now, the other part here is once you are able to establish the things that you're afraid of, right? Because the reason why this is important is if you don't share what you're afraid of, your wife is not going to know. Your wife is thinking, assuming other things like, oh, he's sharing this tough topic because he doesn't love me. He doesn't care about me. He hasn't thought this through. So she's creating all these narratives inside of her mind to assume that the reason why you can't articulate this because you don't care. She's probably thinking these thoughts, but having to be explicit about the why you're afraid of bringing these tough topics, why you're afraid of sharing these hard emotions, these difficult vulnerabilities with her, and what do you need from her to help you share these tough topics that you know you need to share, but in a way that is not escalated, but you need you need her to not cuss you out. You need her to not put you down. You need her to just sit there and listen and be patient with you. I don't know what it is, but think about those times when you have those tough conversations. What do you need from her? Now, when those times of having tough conversation happens, I've shared this in videos past, but it's worth saying here in this moment to kind of piece it all together, right? The proactive conversations we need to have. But then when you do bring up these tough conversations, these heartfelt conversations that you feel uncomfortable and rarely discuss, this is the prompts to share. And it's Dr. John Gottman calls it soft startups, because you're presenting it, you're serving this conversation up in a way that, hey, this is something I need to talk to you about. This is something I need to share with you, right? And so there's three components, right? It's this: I feel about what, and I need. Let's break it down here. So soft startups, the first thing is I feel. This is where you share that emotion. You share that emotion like, I feel angry, I feel sad, I feel like a failure, I feel invalidated, I feel stupid, I feel ugly, I feel dumb, I feel unlovable, I feel disappointed. Whatever it is, I don't know, but you know what those emotions that you feel, right? And I like to say this, under that frustration and anger, because a lot of us, we react with frustration and anger. But underneath that frustration and anger reaction, let's think about a iceberg, right? The tip of the iceberg is frustration, is anger. That is our protective emotions that we typically talk about. However, underneath the waterline is all these softer emotions: sad, failure, panicking, concern, worried, inadequate. I don't know, but you just having to really feel those emotions, right? And so sharing that, right? Because you're able to talk about this because you had this proactive conversation. And so saying, I feel, what are those deep primary emotions that you're really feeling? About what? What was the trigger? What was the trigger that caused you to feel that way? When you didn't do the dishes, when you faced the other way while I was talking to you and you didn't listen, you didn't understand, you didn't acknowledge me, right? I felt so the trigger is an actual event that happened that made you feel this way. Or it was what she said. Maybe there was a thing that you heard her say to you that made you feel this way. And I would encourage you to use these words. I felt sad about that time when I thought I heard you say this, right? And what we want to be careful of saying, you did say that, I heard you say. We want to be careful in saying that, because even though she may have said that, you probably heard it differently, but maybe you understood it differently, right? But so it's saying, I felt that emotion about what I think I heard you say was, right? That was the trigger. What you thought you heard her say, what you saw, that was what triggered you to feel this way. And so now the third part of this is I need. What do you need from her? What is the specific behavior that you need from her in doing so that you're able to request a behavior change, right? I felt unheard and sad and disappointed when I came home and the dishes were still in the sink after I told you a few times to wash the dishes before we go to bed, and I come home late at night from work. I need you to make sure you set a reminder for yourself to put on your phone or some way to remind yourself to do the dishes before you go to bed. Can we do that? So again, this is the next portion. Maybe I need to do a video on what it looks like to compromise, right? Maybe whatever it is, you may not even agree with the request, but it provides a way to serve up this conversation in a softer, gentle way, in having a conversation about how can we figure this out. This is my suggestion because I feel this way about what I saw, what I heard, right? So my specific behavior request is this. All right. Now this is important, but what's more important to have this sort of conversation is having a proactive conversation. I'm afraid of bringing these things to you. I'm fearful of bringing this stuff to you because of what might be said or done. And so what I need from you to help me be able to bring up these tough topics and these uncomfortable conversation is I need you to, right, be patient with me. I need you to reassure me that X, Y, and Z. I need you to, whatever it is, right? And then the soft startups. I feel about what I need. If you've been liking these videos and it's been really helping you in your relationship, in your marriage, with your wife, I would encourage you, could you please subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, comment, and share this with other friends and family. I just want to simply add value to our couples. And if I can minister, if I can reach, if I can serve, if I can add value to our married couples, I can impact the family. And if I can impact the family, we can impact the community. All right, I hope this helps. Enjoy life. Take care.